Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So just popping back in with this Clockwork Curiosities. This is the last of the little sets. I've done a video for each of the other sets. This one's called Time for New Beginnings. Beautiful. This is my favourite one, I think, out of all of them, although there are lovely images on each one, if you get what I mean. We've got this beautiful sort of timepiece here. We've got the keys. We've got this sort of teapot with the cup. We've got a love heart lock. We've got time to relax, unlock the magic of new beginnings, birthday time. We've got a smaller timepiece topper there, a tag key, home sweet home, and a beautiful border. Of course, this as well is beautiful. We could be stealing a border out of that piece as well. You will see I have been playing around with it to figure out what I was going to do today. Printed cardstock. We've got that beautiful teapot, and I love the jewels on the cup as well. It's just perfect for putting little pearls on and things. The foiled cardstock has that beautiful watch again, and in this corner decorated too with that lock and key. I mean, that easily could be you know, just with a little topper or sentiment on. That could easily be just like an engagement card for a fella. Insert, we've got the teapot, and we've got that stopwatch again, beautiful with those flowers. And I am going to be bringing in the two of the different foiled cardstocks. It is separate. I did splash out on this this time. I don't usually, to be honest with you, but since they've been giving me foiled cardstock as part of the design team, you just not having to use it, but having it there to use is probably the right expression. It just makes the whole kit more craftable, as well as, I mean, I know I'm going to have some left over for this, but it's going to stand me in good stead for time to come as well. So I mean, this is a kit that I have purchased myself, so I didn't get it as part of the design team, but which just shows, you know, I do love the products. Before I became, well, I've been making videos 3 years before I got on the design team, so that just tells you. Okay, so I'm going to start with a 6x6 mirror mat, and not mirror mat, 6x6 card blank. So it's just that 12x6 cardstock that I've just folded in half, just scored with the adorable scoreboard. And then this is the mirror mat, and I'm just going to take 1/8 of an inch off of two of the sides. That's 2 notches, and that should fit onto there quite nicely with that little white border all the way around. And then I'm going to take this teapot printed cardstock, and I want mostly the yellow, so I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4. You can see most of that design's come off, but that's going to be a nice piece in its own. If I do cut the same piece off the other, what I can do is back those to back, and I'm going to have a design down the middle of my card. That is going to be the start of our card. And then I'm going to take, I've just cut into this beforehand, but I'm just going to take a piece of this Clockwork design cardstock. Actually going to pop it onto this side, and I just want it to be, let's just see, just want to make sure it's nice and straight. It's not, let's try this side. I'm just checking that it's lining up along all of the notches to make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so I'm going to go to 1 1/2, no, 2 notches under 1 1/2. That will go back into my bit box, and then if I've got a scrap of gold here, and then this needs to be 1 1/2. So again, just lining that up with the marks of my trimmer right there. That should give us that narrow border that we need. That's perfect. And then what I'm going to do is pop some tacky glue. So one of my favourite glues. Also going to be using the all-purpose. These are both Kalal glues. I may even bring in the dotty tape pen at some point, but probably also the purple glue stick. So let's just pop to there. Going to give that a nice press down, and then what I'm going to do is just pop this flat onto my card, just using both of those glues again. Probably not going to go all the way along, and it's at the bottom, so we'll keep that at the bottom. And then if I pop that over the top where I think it's going to be, just need to move that over a smidge, there we go. And then if I turn that over, and then what I can do is just put those points round about in the middle, and I'm going to give that a minute or two just to dry. So I will be back in just a sec. Okay, so I've given that a couple of minutes just to settle down, and then what I'm going to do, just because it's quite thick, we've got 2 levels of cardstock there, and really a metal edge ruler would be better for this. But I'm just going to take those corners off. I can always come in with my scissors if I'm not quite there. If I line my knife up with the corner of the card, hopefully I won't cut into it. Like I say, I can always just come in with my trimmer, although it will make a hell of a bang because it's 2 layers of cardstock and it's 300 GSM, so it's good weight. Oops. We'll go this way, but we'll be careful. And if you want to, you can do this by eye rather than using the ruler. That's up to you. Okay, let's see how that looks. Let's see if I need to add any of my trimmers with my scissors. I think I do just need to tidy that up a little bit. But just getting the most of it away is just going to help me not cut into my cardstock. That's good. There we go. Okay, happy with that. Right, so I'm going to keep this edge at the bottom is where I'm going with that one. So let's just check what that is looking like now. It's still looking good, so let's go ahead. If it's not, you can always use your guillotine or your knife, however you prefer to cut, to just tidy that up by taking, you know, a little bit off, fly's eyelash, whatever. Oops. Just going to bring that in, just get rid of those bits. That's on there. Then we can come onto my card blank, make sure I've got it the right way up. You see those layers really stand out now we're on that white. Okay, so I thought I had a little bit of glue on my gold, but I haven't. I was going to wipe it off, but it's gone. so that's fine. So now let's grab that topper sheet, because we are going to be using the border. I'm coming along, how many times I'm knocking that over today. I'm going to come along with this border here along the middle of this one. So probably should have put this on before I cut it away. Maybe might change my mind, but we will see. I want this circular stopwatch, and I want the time to relax, although that's got a cup of tea on it. Maybe we'll go with this little one here, and maybe birthday time then. Okay, let's pop those to the side. Now let's see, do I want to use this one, oops, or not? I think it's not really going to make that much difference to the overall design anyway. It's better to just keep it with the green, I think. Let's pop this out, so probably not going to use that one. And then maybe this one down here. Don't think that's adding to it either. I do feel like it needs something behind it just to lift it, and I'm wondering whether to go with that parchment again. Just grab that. Yes, I did just pop it under, and I think that's going to help just lift that away. So what we're going to do is pop those over, out the way a minute, and I'm going to go with my dots. Let's not do that on the actual parchment. This was Anita's parchment or vellum. Hunkydory, if you are shopping with them, they have their own plain vellum's parchments, so it's worth, if you wanted to get it from one place basically, then Hunkydory can do that for you. Now obviously it's a circle, nobody, no, I'm not going to say nobody, because I bet there is somebody out there that can cut a perfect circle by hand, but if I undercut this, so I'm just keeping my blade underneath the frame, making sure I'm not cutting into my frame, which, given the day I'm having today, let's pop you back into it there. And this is perfect for these sort of things. And also, don't think, I mean, I've gone for it plain, but if you've got some nice embossing folders, maybe, I know Hunkydory don't do one, but there are embossing folders out there with keys on, with cogs on. You know, all of those things can bring that design to life. Hunkydory don't have a cogs one yet. I'm sure there will be one at some point. Good things come to those who wait, as they say. And you can see it just brings that off of that sheet a bit more now. Okay, so what we're going to do, so there is design top and bottom. I'm going to have it left and right, because if I put it there, it's really disappearing into this. But if I put it on the slant, then I've got that design on both of those sides there. So let's pop that around about there. I need some 2mm. I'm going 2mm on both of these levels, so it's all going to be the same, although the centerpiece, because it is going on top of 1mm already, it will raise a little above, maybe even about 1mm above this frame, because Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Oops. That there, and then we know where we are going. Yeah, because of that cardstock already there, it probably will raise this up, that centerpiece up about 1 millimeter anyway. And then what I am going to do is just for support, and I know I've got quite a big top out, so I'm just going to pop 2 of those in the middle. Now if I just double check, not got anything where I don't want it to be, and obviously that is going to raise it above that 2 millimeter, but actually that is going to raise it. Right, let's just peel these off, and they should peel quite easily. Let's just put a 1 millimeter there instead. That would make more sense. Don't know why I didn't think of it the first time. There we go. Yeah, that feels much better. Okay, so let's go ahead and take these backs off, get this stuck down. So I haven't got the free gift come through yet, and I haven't had the notification that that is on its way. Normally once I get the notification, it's usually there within 2 days. Now it might come through this afternoon, who's to say, but my thinking at the moment is that I'm going to do another video on this kit, on the actual 8x8 paper pad, which is quite nice for me because I like to play with the paper pads. So I'm not going to bother trying to put any purple glue in the middle because I will get that everywhere. Just going to pop a little bit of tacky. Let's move you out of the way. And then if we just turn this round a little, we kind of want it equal. There, it's going to be good. And then again, like I said, I'm coming in with 2 millimeters on here. And we'll just go with those. I think that feels good. No, we need one in the middle. Feels good. And this is going to be very nearly finished now. I mean, obviously I've used the foiled cardstock there. You could use any of your jewelry design papers if you've got something grungy or that will fit in. I mean, I know there's been a lot of jewelry design books, so there's bound to be something if you haven't got these edge-to-edge foiled cardstocks. You could even just come in with a plain bit of green or pink, because you've got the pink or lavender there as well. Okay, so we're going to use this or we're not? We're not going to use that, so let's put that to the side. This is going to be 2 millimeters, so we will have this quite proud. This is just saying birthday time, so it's quite a nice birthday. Could be female, could be male. It's one of those ones which is great for everyone. Do you think I want it down here? Pop that in, and then I'm going to come in with some super shinies. I think let's come in just on this side here with a little spray going out. Since these all got mixed up, it's very hard to find the sizes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to go onto there and just bring that bit of gold in. So let's just a little pip there. Let's just bring that round. That way, if I put these here like this, if I can get my glue to work, come on, I know it's been a while, but I think this glue gets a bit sad if it's not being used more than the other one. Come on, there we go. That one's in. There we go. Okay, and then that way what we've got is we've got this diagonal going this way, but we've also got that design going that way, which still makes that stopwatch the center of attention on that card. But that's card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for the second card, I'm going really big for me on these videos. Normally it's been a long time since I've done a 6x8, but I'm going to do a 6x8 card, and I'm going to bring in the trimmer. I'm going to bring it in. I don't think that's going to be big enough now because we've chopped into it so much. No, let's pop that in the big box for either side of me. Okay, that's safe. And then we'll take this one. We're going to need the arm out for this one. So this is an A4 sheet of Mary card, and I'm going to take 2 notches off the 6, 1/8 of an inch, and the same 2 notches off the 8 inch. And that's just going to give me that beautiful little white border all the way around. And then I'm going to take the foiled cardstock, but I'm using this side with the lock and key, and I'm going to take that to 5 3/4 and 6 3/4, and I'm going to cut some of this top piece off here. It is going to be hidden by the topper a bit anyway. So that is going to fit into there quite nicely. Again, I'm going to keep that piece. I think I'm going to take a border from here. This is what I want to use. I want to use this key border. So let me just move those out of the way a little bit so I can move that over. And I think I'm going to go 2 notches under the 2 because I want to try and keep as much of that in as I can. And then that needs to be 7 3/4. And then if I take 2 inches, and again 7 3/4. So using borders on both of these cards today must be the way I'm feeling. Must be feeling like a border day. And that is going to go onto there like so. I think that's all the cutting we need to do. And my plan at the moment, let me just show you what my plan is, just in case you want to speed off. So we've got this one here, we've got that border onto there. I'm going to come in with my topper probably somewhere around there. I don't want this to look too much like a heart. And then if I grab the topper page, shop it that way, I want to do Unlock the Magic of New Beginnings. And that's probably going to come down here. I don't know if I'm going to come in with the key. I don't really feel like I need to. Actually might come down a bit further. There. So I didn't want it to be too lovey-dovey. I wanted it to be a bit neutral. And then some gems somewhere. Okay, I think that's probably going to look okay. Okay, so let's come in, let's get these bits glued down. So again with that all-purpose glue, just move that in a little bit. So I just had a bit of all-purpose glue. It's quite near to the edge, which always kind of worries me a little bit. Not so bad on this layer, but it can be catastrophe on this layer, because if it splurges out, it can take the gold mirror shine off. It makes it look like distressed, which is cool if you're looking for that distressed look on it, but not so cool if it's the only spot on a card. And actually it probably would work with this if you did the whole thing or just the edges, but I'm sure there are distressed gold card out there which would be better placed if that's what you were looking to do. Okay, so you can see that's coming together quite nicely. Making sure I've got that the right way up. Yes, I have. I had a little panic moment then. I'm not sure if I'm going to come in with a vellum again. I mean, I could come in with a bit of orange, and the reason why I chose this orange one is because there's just these spots of rust on there. So the other colour in the keys is grey, and I felt like the orange sort of brought something a little bit to it. Let's just check this out. I want it to be, do I want a bit of height on that? Thinking, actually, there's no right or wrong way on that. Let's come in with some 1mm foam pads on it. We're gonna, it's not often I do raise the borders up, especially when they're chunky like this already. That's gonna be fine, but let's come in and do that today. Did you guys see the pocket pads this morning? So there's a couple of new pocket pads. I have to say the dog and the cat one will be going into my basket next time I order from them. They were beautiful. I hope they do a kit with those dogs and cats on, because they were quite special. Right, I'm just checking now, because the writing feels to me like it's that way, so it could be either way. And when now I think about it, it did kind of peter off on that side on the sheet. So let's just pop that onto there. Could do with being just a little straighter. But that purple glue just gives us that little bit of wiggle room time. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's have a little look now. So we've got our frame. We're going to come down around about central, we said, didn't we? And then we've got our beautiful keys. Again, I feel like it might need a little bit of vellum. Let's just check. See how that looks with it behind. I feel like it does kind of lift it a little bit away and quieten it a bit. So let's do it again. I hate to do the same thing twice on a video, but when I think it needs it, I am going to. So again, I'm just going to use these dots. And I can pop that on and back there. And again, I'm going to just undercut that frame. Always go back and trim any bits that poke out after, which there will be when I do it anyway. Let's put that back in that place. So got that bit there. There is a tiny piece there and a tiny piece there. if you manage to get the tearing rulers, it would be quite cool just to have the vellum or the parchment torn as a border rather than this gold. That would probably be really quite pretty. Let's go around about there. Yeah, definitely feeling like I like that. It's in this space, I think, a bit lower. Okay, so we know this is 1mm on that side, so what I'm going to do is just pop a little 1mm on that side. Just the one, I think. This is Wembley. And if you're in the US and you're probably a bit confused by me seeing just the one Mrs. Wembley, there was a sitcom here. It must have been 80s and 90s. I feel like it was Joan Sims that was in it. From like the Carry On. I could be wrong. Could be just someone that looks like it. It was a long time ago. I was quite young. And I think she was like the housekeeper. And any time anyone came in and offered her a drink, she would just say, "Just the one." I'm going to take that off so I can go just a little closer. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay. Can't remember what the name of it was, the sitcom. One of you guys out there might know. I think Dennis Waterman might have been in it as well. I could be wrong. Like I say, it was a long time ago. Okay, so I am going to just carefully come in with this purple glue stick on that 1" one, not so hard on these 2mm ones, so a bit further away from the parchment. Let's pop that about there, I think. The thing with the oval is sometimes it looks straight and then it's just not quite. And it's really hard to get an oval straight, I think. Only there were a tool. I didn't put anything underneath to help bolster that up. What I'm going to do is just pop 2mm on here again. And we'll see how it lies. It might lie flatter, it might not. But whatever effect we get, we get. I'm good with that. Okay. I'm not going to put anything on it. I'm going to have to risk it for a biscuit this time. If you're in doubt, you can always put that frame in and have that there. Now, do I want that to overlap a little? I think I do. So we'll come in with 2mm on here. This I will pop a little bit of glue on, and then we can pop that there. And then now I do want some colours. Now I'm wondering whether these oranges might be a bit too much. They might be a bit too vivid. Let me grab some of the other colours. We've got the black. The black could work. May still end up coming in with the gold, but let me just grab colours and we'll see what works. So this is the benefit of having all of these little packs. These all came from Temu. You get all of these little packs for a couple of quid. I don't think we want the purples. I think we want the yellows. Green might work. Green, silver, blue, no, green. That might work. Just checking through. They might work as well. yeah, you get all of those. I think there's about 10, maybe even more packs, and they're all self-adhesive. Let's see, I think they're a bit too green. They are nice. Too green. Yeah, I'm going to go with those light green ones, I think. You could go with your gold if you wanted to. And I think, let's just grab 1 and 2 and 3. So I'm doing a little tiny spray there. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm doing. Job's good. Okay, so let's just bring, so obviously it just needs that insert inside it, so that will go in. You could come in with your stickles, or your glitters if you wanted to really sort of pretty it up, but I'm going to keep it a little bit neutral because then it goes for almost anyone, well, anyone. But that's card number 2. Let's bring in card number 1. So quite different with those borders, but you can see how that foiled cardstock, you don't have to use a lot, but it does add to. So this was the Time for New Beginnings. You could swap the keys out for the teapot and use a different border if you wanted to. There are 2 in the foiled edge to edge with the keys on, so I did want to bring that in with the keys. But we've still got the teapot, we've got another heart topper there, we've got those 2 tags, and we've got the Time to Relax. I've hardly used any of that. This is probably going to end up as a piece of plain, but we've got that there. Just put that away. And then we've got the foiled clock, the border I cut off. Those pieces there, another piece there. I've got 1 of those. And then that teapot as well. So that's what's left over. Plenty left to craft with. You may see some of these coming in when I use the book next time. I don't know, I haven't looked at it properly yet. I know the images are a lot bigger in there, and so possibly just going to be using the book to make cards. But then again, I may bring in some of these foiled cardstocks, the acetates, etc. We'll see what happens on that day. But thanks for watching today. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye.